So, a small public service announcement for today's My Team episode. I actually managed to record this one before the new patch dropped. So we've got this episode for this week. Now, I believe we do have a solution to the mods being incompatible with the new car models and car updates with the sports update, but I think that will be resolved hopefully by next week. So yeah, just bear that in mind.
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
So in the meantime, guys, whilst we fix the mod issues to get the game compatible with the current 1.12 version, the previous episode will be on screen now. Link in the top right, the battle of the two-stop versus the one-stops in Bahrain. And yeah, that's going to be also a chance for you to avoid spoilers, which you might be watching right now. So yeah, today we're here for Jeddah, and like I said, I managed to record this before the patch, so it's going to be a good thing for us that we get an episode out this week. And yeah, we are looking to hopefully, potentially, go back to back.
Hey, Chief. We have a part or two ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info.
Now, what do I mean by back-to-back? Well, last episode, we picked up the win in Bahrain as Pierre Gasly. We are fresh off the back of a P2 with Carlos Sainz in round 3 in Japan, and you can see the results have kind of improved at the same time our car upgrades have gone on. Right now, our car is just behind the big boys, and we have officially maxed out our car for the time being. There's nothing we can do. So this is basically as good as it gets. So if we want to fight for the championship, we need to cash in and capitalize now and get some big results. So this weekend we are back racing with Carlos Sainz, and we have a dry forecast here at Jeddah. The championship, both our drivers are covered or split by only 3 points. Lando Norris is your championship leader, Verstappen's right behind. Then there's a bit of a gap and a bit of a battle for P3 between Piastri, Leclerc, both of our Cadillac boys. And yeah, things are heating up in a big way. So we're only 4 rounds in. This is round 5 of 24. So plenty of things that can still happen in this season. Either way, we're going to go about doing our car setup for today's video, and we're going to get stuck in. Now we begin with practice here today. Looking to hopefully get down to business right away and get on the pace. Now the first lap was actually impossible. I was nowhere near the reference lap time delta, so that first lap is going to be in the bin and isn't going to be a green score. It still counts towards data in terms of fuel and tyre wear consumption, but it just doesn't quite add up in terms of hitting our targets. Second lap though, we were up by 0.4, but the delta is so strong from the last corner up to the line that we nearly lost it. We just made it over the line in time, completing all of our development boosts, and yeah, eventually it got easier, and also our pace stayed very consistent throughout the stint, and the mediums were very decent. Over the line we go.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
And there we have it. So job done for the session. We do have pretty decent tyre wear. I'd say just over 1%. Fuel burn for the race, 45.3 kg. And yeah, over you can see the pace each lap. We got faster and faster each lap, and then it kind of leveled out. So we did find a decent baseline and rhythm. So yeah, we finished practice. Carlos Sainz in P6, Pierre Gasly in P8, and the Mercedes 1-2 lockout looking pretty strong. Potentially upgrades for them this weekend. Either way for us, our R&D points total now is nearly 15,000 points. If an upgrade does become available, we'll purchase it straight away. But for now, that's all she wrote. And like I said, we do these programs basically for race data, not for the points. Anyway, it's time for qualifying.
Welcome to the Jeddah Corniche, one of the fastest circuits on the calendar. But let's see who will be fastest of them all. We're about to set the grid for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yes, it's qualifying.
Right, let's get to it. Let's see exactly what the pace is looking like heading into this one. We begin with our first lap in Q1, looking to really ramp it up on these soft tyres, get a banker together and see what the pace looks like. We've got some traffic in the form of Colapinto, who doesn't really open the line too much, so I'm a little bit compromised heading into turn 3. We apparently were purple in Sector 2, so looking pretty strong as we head out the last corner. That car's going to peel off into the pit lane as we open DRS. Over the line we go. Banker lap number 1, it's a 1:24.2 and 7/10 behind Charles Leclerc, currently setting the pace in P1. Gasly P2 and looking pretty strong. You can see pace-wise, we're 6/10 off our teammate, so a pretty significant gap. Lando has put 4/10 on everybody's head in his first run, so yeah, at the minute, no dramas, we're safe, we're more than comfortably through with that lap, but we need to find some time and we need to improve to hopefully fight and mix it up with the big boys. So yeah, Pierre Gasly 1:23.5, we do a 1:24.2, and Lando a 1:23.1, 1.1 seconds quicker than us in that particular session. So into Q2, the first thing I realised was my first sector was pretty poor in Q1, so straight away being far more aggressive, cutting the first chicanes, also running one less on the brake bias at the 54. We cut that turn 3 apex a lot tighter, and this time no traffic issues, which is going to help all the way through this first sector. We now every single one of the sweepers, and using some battery on the way out, we're going to cross the first sector and go purple, so already a much better start. Eventually we continued on a lap and finished it. We've got a little bit of a slipstream here from this car ahead, which seems to be on a lap or starting a lap. It's Yuki Tsunoda, and he's not going to get out of the way, so we're going to get some dirty air to kind of compound and relegate or neutralize the slipstream effect. Over the line we go. It's 1:23.5, so we do find a decent chunk, nearly 7/10 over our Q1 time. And actually we swap around with Pierre. Pierre does the time that we did in Q1, and we do the time that Pierre did in Q1. So basically both of our cars swapping around. Albon setting the pace 1:23.1 in the Mercedes, and Q2 finishes with Albon on top. We also stay P4. Gasly did improve and went out again 1:23.9, but still for him 4/10 off his Q1 time. Anyway, no surprises, all the big boys into Q3. Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, Cadillac and Red Bull, and we're all going to contest this final session. Now we begin with our first Q3 lap, and we know what to do. I don't think pole's on the table. I think we're lacking a bit of pace, and that goes for both cars. The lap in Q2 was really good, the 1:23.5. I don't think there's much more in it, so it depends what the AI do. For us though, we're going to see if we can improve. Now in Q2 we did a 30.7 sector 1 as a reference. We bottom out on that curb a little bit. You could hear the engine revs kind of cut out. We do a 1:30, or not a 1, a 30.8, which is a little bit slower than our Q2 sector 1. Through the banking, running it really close to the barriers. We now approach this chicane. You've got to really just throw it in blind, but we just hit the wall and invalidate, so not ideal for a first lap, and already puts the pressure on. Now luckily I had fuel, enough fuel to go again, and we were down by a fraction, but we this time make it through the chicane. So heading up to the second sector split relative to Antonelli, we are going to be up by a tenth and a bit. We go purple, but we hit the inside barrier again and invalidate. So twice in a row, same mistake at different corners, and we currently have no time. Now the pace has ramped up. Gasly's done a 23.1 and it's only P8, so we need to find 4/10 on our Q2 lap to even improve on P8. So everyone's leveled up, the pressure's really on, so we need to deliver something special. Well, that's a bit of a shame, but I'm not annoyed. I was really happy with the lap. We did our best lap at the end. I reckon there was a bit more in it, but we were still 2/10 off George Russell, and that goes for both of us pretty much. Gasly does out-qualify Sainz, surprisingly, which is a rarity for the AI to out-qualify me, but yeah, we weren't anywhere near the 122s, especially the mid to higher 122s, to be honest. I think it was possible to get a 122, like a 9.9 something, but yeah, small mistakes, but we just don't quite have the pace. At least in qualifying, we're a little step behind. So pressure on. Hopefully the race pace is better and we can deliver on Sunday. Either way, that's qualifying, and that's that.
We're here today on the shores of the Red Sea in the lower Hijaz Mountains to visit one of the newest circuits on the Formula One calendar. We're in Jeddah, home to what we all hope is going to be a thrilling Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah Street Circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Piastri, Antonelli, Max Verstappen and Tsunoda, Gasly, Sainz, Albon and Franco Colapinto, Doohan, Russell, Isaac Hadjar and Lawson, Stroll, Behrman, Esteban Ocon and Pepe Marti, Hauger, Bortoletto, Crawford and Paul Aaron rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Right, it's showtime here at the Jeddah Corniche. We begin in P8. Pierre Gasly alongside us to our right is starting from P7. So a place improvement for both of us as George Russell goes back with a grid penalty in this one. So we're looking to hopefully keep climbing. Now, to be fair, this is not a bad result as it is, but considering we are fighting for the championship, I'd like a bit more. That's not really sufficient for us anymore. Last season, this would be a decent result, but this season we're hoping for, minimum top 6 with both cars. So for this one, we're going to hopefully try and fight back. We've got both Red Bulls right ahead of us, and then we've got Ferraris and McLarens. For the strategy, we're going to go for medium to hard. Now, I'm expecting the medium stint to be very tough and for us to struggle. I think we're going to overheat. I've upped my rear right tyre pressure some more to hopefully not have issues as badly with overheating, but I still expect it to be the case. So the sooner we get to the hard tyres, the better. They're going to be our primary race tyre. They're going to be really good for us and really strong. For the fuel, we are going to run the simulation from practice, so which is 45.3 kg, which equates to 27.7 laps. So yeah, no rate forecast, of course, not a cloud in the sky. So we're going to get straight to it, and it's showtime here in Jeddah in the desert. Let's get to it. Right, let's get to it. No rear tyre burnouts. We're going to try and maintain that rear tyre temp ideally as low as possible. I don't really want to put any stress on those. Just trying to brake drag to keep temperature in the brakes, in the tyres. Let's get to it. This one should be a fun race. I always enjoy Jeddah, so let's see if we can hopefully have a good performance. Here we go. Right, it's showtime. Let's get to it. Lights on in the desert. We're off. quite a bit of wheel spin off the start, but it's not a bad one. Oh, bit of a lock up. We have contact with Pierre, not ideal, I do apologise, but we are going to go through and move up on our teammate. Lovely start, but just got loads of dirty air into turn 1, and the brakes just didn't work. Straight lock up, Tsunoda and Antonelli side by side here through the S's. Oh, big one. I had to take evasive action there. I thought I was going to go straight into the back of Antonelli, who slammed on the brakes, backing out of that too wide, so that allows Pierre back through. So aggressive, scary start here at Jeddah. The barrier's always right there in your face, so you have to be careful. Well, not exactly ideal. That's also broken the train, and we've lost ground to the leader. So I think up front, both Ferraris, Norris and Verstappen as a top 4 have gotten away. So that doesn't help our calls, but it is what it is. Not much we could have done there. Just taking caution by trying to avoid that incident with Antonelli through the S's is probably the best thing we could have done. Speaking of which, Antonelli now looking to challenge Tsunoda down to the last corner. Let's see, we're also going to hopefully be okay for straight line speed this race. We still have our wing up by 1 from that qualifying adjustment, so we can always put it back down if we need to.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
3 wide. Antonelli outside. Oh, Albon there, out of nowhere, went down my inside of the chicane. I wasn't expecting that. And he's trying to get the move here. Oh, again. We avoid contact just as we rejoin. We have contact with Doohan there. He wasn't fully expecting it, but I had to rejoin. There was a barrier there approaching, so I would have gone straight to the wall. I had to get back on track. What a start to this race, my days. Right, let's fix a few things and let's try and settle in. That was a hectic start. Already I'm thinking, you know, early undercut onto the hard tyre to try and get our race back on track. The hard tyre should last very well around here, so let's see, let's stick with it for the time being. And we'll try and recover some positions, but that was not the start I had in mind. Everything that could have gone wrong pretty much did. That second instant was more on me. I just missed my braking point a little bit. Also the cars ahead braking more than I expected. Russell has a look. I was just slowly moving over, but it seems that AI have good straight line speed, so we may have to go down that wing after all. Drag race versus George. He's pulling ahead. We're trying to get back in front. Around the outside of the chicane, leaving plenty of room as Gasly gets overtaken by Albon. So it seems our pace isn't great today around here. More battling between Antonelli and Tsunoda. So this is all about for P5. And no chance of a break or any respite at the minute. Big run through there. We might just have a shot at Jack Doohan. The Alpine Renaults have improved this weekend with the upgrades, have taken a big step forward. Not much we can do there though, as Doohan's actually in attack mode on his teammate Colapinto. Oh, a bit of oversteer. That's not going to help the rear tyres. Right, George closing in behind. We're all on the battery here. Down the inside on Jack. Ran the outside of Colapinto. Go for the cheeky little double on the Renaults. We brake a little bit earlier this time. And there it is. Nice, tidy double overtake. That's a bit more like it. Albon moves up on Tsunoda as well, so he's flying in the Mercedes. And Antonelli's getting away. This is still about for P5. Come on. Right, they're battling ahead. The Renaults have been dropped. Gasly also dropping off the back of these guys, so he doesn't really have the pace in this race in general, this race weekend. Really good chicane. Doing quite good through there. Even with the dirty air, we're managing it well. We've got the run on Pierre. We're going to try and go through. That was a late move. Not exactly ideal. Friendly fire. Horrible exit. I think that might just cost us the move to go through here. I'll try anyway. We're quite far back. Down the inside on Pierre, aggressive, but that was aggressive defense from him before, so if we have to get the elbows out, we will. And now we're on the back of these three, and this is where strategy might come into play, potentially an early stop. If I feel like we can't pass them, or it's a bit too difficult, or losing too much time. Wow, 3 wide. Here we go. Pierre also very close to the back of us here, but this is going to present the opportunity to make some moves. Side by side with Antonelli, Sonoda side by side with Albon. It's all pretty tight. It's going to bring George Russell back into play, who's past the Renaults. He's now closing in on us here, so this is going to be a huge scrap. I can't wait for this pit stop though, and just get out of this battle. It's proven to be really awkward. 3 wide again. I mean, I will say that AI are really going for it today. Great to see them racing much more aggressively here, but this is really just... I mean, look at the gap to the leaders as we head 3 wide into here. Albon's so slow, I just can't really do much about that. I'm trying to get a switch back, but it's hard to guess who's going to be the one out of the 3 wide to break first and who's going to pull the trigger. But look how far ahead the leaders are. They've only got a pit stop on us. It's insane. Antonelli starting to get away. Albon can sense the danger, and he's trying to put a move on Sonoda. We're going to bring our stop forward by 1 lap, by the way. We were into box lap 12. We're going to go lap 11 and look for an undercut here. It's the only way we're going to be able to...
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
It's the only way we're going to be able to break this status quo and make something happen in this one. So for now, we're just kind of stuck and going to have to wait and play this game. But Antonelli might just get away here, especially now with Sonoda sticking his nose down the inside at that corner. Oh, nearly lost my wing there. Right. Come on. This might just open things up a little bit as we just catch the curb and bottom out. That's going to hurt me. Luckily, we should be able to recover. I've got enough battery to fight this. But Antonelli breaking away might just open this up a little bit now at the crucial time. Oh, big one. I was about to say the rears. I could feel they're just starting to open up a little bit. And the overheating is there. So I think it's time to pull the trigger and try something a little bit different.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Bit of a scruffy in lap, it has to be said. Russell's having a look to the outside. Down the inside, we'll defend our position. But this is it, this is undercut time. So the plan here is to just go for it and be aggressive. We should be able to get a 2-lap undercut on Antonelli. So we might just be able to pass everyone here if we pull this off. Hard tyres ready. I've gone down the front wing by 1. I want to have a bit more straight line speed and put some wear on the fronts rather than the rears. But this is it. This is critical. It's good. It's 2.4. It's quick. Better than last time.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Oh, we're racing these cars at the exit. If we could pass these, it would be great. All bit of contact on pit exit, but we're through. That was critical to clear those. Absolutely critical to not get stuck behind traffic through here. So we can get stuck in right away and chase after these cars. So Behrman's going to be the first one. There's so much grip on this fresh tyre. So much more pace. This is going to be a huge undercut. Look at the grip difference. I can just do whatever I like. We're not even going to wait for the DRS. I'm just going to go through now on Behrman. Not even worth my time waiting for DRS. I'm going to see if I can try and get Ocon's DRS out of the last corner, down the pit straight. That's my objective here, so we'll use every bit of the battery to try and do that. Wow, the grip is insane. I had to make sure I didn't turn in too early there and break my wing. But there it is, we've got what we need. We've got Ocon in our sights. Everybody's in, so it's a busy pit lane. And we're going to get a nice little slingshot here from the departing Ocon, who should box. Thank you very much. And that is a really strong outlap. Looks like the majority are still actually opting to stay out. I thought more would have pit on that one, but that's perfect. Another extra lap of undercut will hurt nobody. So let's keep at it.
Pierre is in for his stop now.
Right.
Some information on Hauger. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
Using all the battery. Remember, the pit exit is going to benefit the AI, so we need to be ahead, and we are. And just like that, we're P5. That is excellent. Really, really good for us. And we've got a gap as well. Antonelli's out of our DRS range. So let's try and keep it that way, if possible.
Okay, the safety car is out. Safety car is out. We need to form up at reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive.
Ooh, okay. This really, really opens things up. It's going to neutralize the entire race and bring back the leaders, and we've managed to jump everyone behind us, so that's absolutely huge. All in all, that pit phase has worked out about as good as you could hope for, really. Really, really good. So this race is going to get reset, and we're going to restart from P5. Antonelli's out as well. That's what's triggered it. So Antonelli retiring whilst there was another yellow on track for Hauger. So double yellow, double incident, and that triggers the safety car. Right, here we go then. Safety car restart time. To be fair, the safety car has barely got a gap. But we're going to get started here on this restart. And this might be an opportunity. Waiting for Norris to punch it. There it is. We're going to have to wait until the finish line to make a move. There we go. Got Leclerc by surprise. Into turn one we go, around the outside. Striking while the iron's hot. Great opportunistic move. And suddenly,
Okay, clear.
we're in with a shout of a podium. Whoa, Piastri with a big moment there. Lost all momentum. Cold tyres. Seemingly hurting both Ferraris on the restart. And we've got the pace right now. On this one, we've got decent temperature in the hards, and it's working for us. It's working really well. But Leclerc, who I believe was looking pretty comfortable this race, has now dropped to P5. Norris, who has been the dominant man all race long, he's already starting to put some daylight between himself and the rest of the competition. Really good restart though. We'll take that. Let's stick with it. We might be able to get Piastri here before DRS gets enabled. And then really it's about managing that podium position if we can get through. We're really good through that. Really good through that. Right, come on then. Let's try. Nope, not even gaining. And I've put my wing down in the pit stop, by the way, but we are not gaining on Piastri. That's insane. Good thing is, these tyres won't overheat on the right rear, so we can hopefully find traction consistently throughout the stint.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
Right, let's settle in and let's see how we're going to get this podium. Let's try and figure something out. We've got Leclerc on a bit of a gap here, and he doesn't have DRS. Also, Piastri's about to lose DRS in the top two because they're battling quite heavily. Verstappen through on Norris. So suddenly the Ferrari seem to be struggling on this hard tyre on this restart. Albon, Leclerc battling. Does Piastri have DRS? Yes, he does. I was hoping he wouldn't. We might still have a chance to go through here. Down the inside on Oscar, big lunge into turn one. And that's a P3 overtake to get us onto the podium, and that is huge. Piastri closing. These two in front still battling, so it's all kicking off here, but crucially we're able to hold our own. Piastri will be back for more, so we're going to have to defend towards turn one. This is really up for grabs right now. We brake later, and we reclaim P3. Same again. Run it back. Although Piastri does not actually go for it. He had a look down the inside. He goes for it into turn one instead. And actually, we're going to accidentally put a move on Norris here, which wasn't planned. A bit of contact, little tyre hook there, so I'll let him stay in front. But now Verstappen hits the front. Let's see how that goes. This is all to play for right now. Anyone can win this race, I think. Verstappen's making a run. Norris just hangs on to DRS, but the gap is basically a second right now. So Verstappen could be making the definitive move, or trying to make the definitive move. Norris still has DRS, just hangs on. We might get a shot down the main straight. If I can have a decent final corner here, and crucially get a decent exit. Not bad. AI very good out of there though. But I think we've got enough of a run here, we can try this. Norris goes defensive. He's going to cover that all day, so we'll go around the outside and make that move instead for second place. Oh, that was a nice chicane. Very good through there. Also, we might just be able to drop Norris. If I use all my battery, we could just put everyone behind on a bit of a gap and into a bit of an awkward predicament as we head into the last 3 laps. We might just break away here with Verstappen. This could be huge. Norris has no DRS, so Piastri is going to go through. Oh, we just lock the left front. I'm going to use everything here to get past Verstappen. If I can make it. The gap's quite big. We go purple. Around the outside. Yes, twice in a row. We hit the front. How the hell has this happened? Oh my days. Right, I'm going to let Verstappen go. Low-key working with him here to try and get a gap here on the cars behind. That wasn't optimal, but it will have to do. We'll try and go through here, and hopefully Max will just pass me back on the main straight. They're battling for P3 behind, so long may it continue. This might be a critical break. Verstappen through. Just trying to build that gap. They're going to be 3 wide behind. I can already tell just by looking at the deltas. So we might just balloon this gap if we keep at this. The question is, do we go for it on the pit straight or do we wait? I'm inclined to wait, to be honest. I think there's better opportunities later in the lap. Then we'll just try and stay close for the time being. A little bit of a correction through there. Well, this is it. I want to try and get close and hopefully do this out of the chicane. We've been good through here all race long. And that's another good chicane. With the dirty air in mind. Here we go. Verstappen's pretty quick on the straight. We're going to have to go to the outside. Oh, we just lock up. Going to try and get the exit. Verstappen's still there. Oh, it's raced to the line. We're going to miss out. No.
Yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive. Thank you.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen.
Well, there we go then. A really good day in the office and actually salvaging what looked like a very difficult weekend, to be honest. We didn't really have that much pace, but beautiful race IQ at times. We struggled at the start, but good strategy as well. A little bit of luck with the safety car to neutralise the race, and we get a huge P2. We nearly won the race. Verstappen, though, just got the measure of us and got the exit out of the last corner, so fair play. we just lacked a bit of straight line speed, really. Simple as that. I was a bit surprised, even with the lower wing at the pit stop adjustment, it wasn't really enough. Gasly gets P8 ahead of George Russell. Albon ahead of him, so the Mercedes are in a little bit of a sandwich there with Pierre in the middle. And yeah, really not a bad day in the office at all. But let's look at the standings and break everything down after that one. So in the drivers, Sainz up to P4, Gasly drops to P6. To be fair, it's all really tight though. Verstappen does have a 12-point lead over Norris. I would say the battle right now is for P3, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Gasly, and then there's a bit of a gap to Albon and co behind, but it's still very close this early on. The big surprise really is George Russell, only 12 points so far this season. Really, really surprising to see him so low. But in the constructors, we are third. The gap is very close. It's 2 points between Red Bull, Ferrari, 13 points between Cadillac, Ferrari, and 25 to McLaren. Mercedes a bit further back, but they did look quick at times this weekend, so I wouldn't totally discard them just yet. Either way, that's it, guys, for Jeddah. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode. Absolutely chaotic race, manic race. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe for more if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already. It massively helps me out. And yeah, as always, a massive shout out to the channel members, guys, for supporting all the content on here. Also, check out the 2 videos on screen. And I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Take care, and that's goodbye from me. Ciao, ciao.